Hello, everybody. My name is Stratnos, and welcome to my Mythic Fractillus guide. Thanks to my friend Terrasant for letting me use his stream bod for this. I forgot to hit start recording on this because we killed this boss in 4 pulls, so I wasn't ready for that. But this boss is quite an easy DPS check if you are, especially as we're getting more gear. Once you reach this boss, you can once you kill a Raz, this is likely to be the next best target before Soul Hunters, because it's really just a weak auras check and an understanding of like 2 mechanics check, and then having good numbers on your raid. So you're going to start off just like on the lower difficulties. You want to make sure you have a weak aura for this, and you want to have this. You kind of want to understand what the plan is. Pretty much everybody will do this the same way, which is the Echo strat, not the original Liquid strat. But if you're using Liquid weak auras, they will now. If you're using updated Liquid weak auras, they will have the correct Echo strat for where to place the walls and where to break the walls. So you're going to start off with the entire raid in the diamond, the third column. And this is going to be our safe spot for the first minute or two of the fight. Then we're going to move over to triangle. And then towards the end of the fight, we're actually going to move back onto diamond for the last minute or so as our safe spot again. So we're hopping into the diamond spot here. And this is our safe lane. The first set of walls come out. And with wall spawns, you're always getting 4 of them on the non-tank wall spawns. And these, you don't want to get hit by these if you're not one of the targets. So again, that's why we're in a safe lane. And these are basically always going to be single locations. Rarely are you going to see these doubled up on the wall spawns. Pretty much always they're going to be going to a single lane. If you are seeing a double up, that can be a good spot for a personal. But yeah, okay, so we're spawning our first set of walls, and then you just go back to your location. The tank walls, unlike lower difficulties, aren't always on square. The first one is, but they're not always on square. It goes something like square, triangle, square, star, moon, circle, or something. I don't know. There's some other ones, so just you have to look at your weak aura, even if you're a tank. But you don't have to know it. You can just look at your weak aura. Your weak aura will tell you exactly what to do on this fight. As long as you follow what your weak aura tells you to do, you will be fine for the most part. Now, here come the second set of walls. Again, this is everybody being on the same updated version of the weak aura check. I cannot stress enough. Make sure everybody's on the exact same version of the weak aura, and you have the updated Echo strat, not the initial Liquid strat that was if you had the weak auras from the first week. Like if you're a guild that says don't update, it'll break stuff. You need to update for this boss. So now the wall breaks come out. Now the breaks don't do extra damage if you are in the same line as multiple people. That won't happen. But for these breaks, there are 3 different mechanics that'll happen based on which number of walls you're popping. The mythic walls put a nasty dot on everybody. The heroic walls will... the heroic and normal walls, I actually forget which one's which, but one of them will cause circles to target where people were, and the other will cause us to have to spread and get big circles around us. So typically what's going to happen is on every break, you're going to want to be pixel stacked. Like you see all the ranges here that aren't targeted are stacked, and that's going to bait a lot of projectiles at where they were, and then we can all move and spread. If you're already kind of spread in this lane, there's going to be a lot less safe spots here, so pretty important to do that if you can during these breaks. Out again go those walls, and yeah, you can see we've got a lot of projectiles. Some of them are kind of random targeted all over the place, but others there's a huge clump there, and then we're just wanting to spread, getting nice safe spots with this. We kind of made a raid plan with some rough spread assignments, but it's not a hard assigned fight. This is a react fight. One big tip is if you are one of the people breaking a wall, stay where you were. Don't try and run back or run over to your spot. Just stay there by the edge of the room and do your spread there, and leave the middle of the room for healers so they can be in range of everybody, especially on some of the sets where mythic walls are broken, which the entire idea of this strategy is to break as few mythic walls as possible. But if you are breaking mythic walls, your healers are going to need to heal, so you need to make sure that they can get to be in range of everybody. Now our safe spot's triangle, where we've actually filled up a bunch of walls, although we are going to break one wall here on triangle on this cast. You can break in the safe lane, you just can't place a wall there, but if you break in the safe lane, it's fine. Again, it doesn't do damage to everybody in the lane like spawning a wall there would. So yeah, now we're playing in triangle basically for the majority of the fight from here on out. Again, we're getting a tank wall, and your tank, this one's all the way over on star, just spawning over there. Another set of walls, go where your weak aura tells you to go. You can have the map tell you where to go as well. You can turn that on, off. You can set up... There are like 5 different ways you can have the weak aura tell you where to go. Just look in the options, load whichever one you want the most. Again, so here you can see he's actually being targeted by a lot of stuff. Our POV here, and both me and him are knocked back over here towards square, and both of us are just staying back here. Even though this isn't our the spot we roughly want to go to. We're just getting knocked, then we're staying there for our spread, and then getting back together. If you have a mythic dot, you're in a little bit more danger, but again, the entire premise of this is that we're very rarely getting a mythic debuff, and even when we do, it's only ever one at a time. We're not doing multiple stacks, which makes this not an HPS check, nor really a DPS check, because they nerfed the health on this thing by 8% between the first week and the second week. They also made it impossible to one tank, so if you're trying to copy the Liquid or Echo strat directly, that doesn't work anymore, so make sure you have a second tank. But yeah, again, pretty simple fight. All things, it is really, really simple once you understand these things. There is, I guess, one final thing. There's one actual nuance worth covering, which is we have this Skull World marker down in the back middle of the room. There is a set around 4 minutes of breaks, I believe, that you can have everybody who has an immunity go there and just press their immune. And if you have a short immune, you can actually immune on one of the first breaks as well, and then immune there. It's like a shorter than 3 minute cooldown on your immunity. You can immune twice on this fight. But yeah, that can make things a little bit easier if you go there and you hit the immunity. I think Terrasant here forgot, or his talent swap didn't work, so he has Ice Cold instead of Ice Block, so it's not even really possible. But yeah, again, you can see here, this is a Mythic dot, so you can see how everybody drops a little bit low. We end up losing a player, having to throw the res here. But yeah, that's what that looks like when that damage is going out. So the raid frames do get a little bit scary, but you can just kind of use you only have to use your defensives a couple times, so that should be a good time to do that. And yeah, okay, so I think coming up soon is the immune set here. Again, everybody is literally just following their weak aura. You do not ever think for yourself on this fight. You're not allowed to do that. You just follow your weak aura, go exactly where it tells you to go. Again, sometimes you have to go pretty far as well. Sometimes you're going to get assigned back to running far. It's tough. That happens sometimes. You just got to outplay it. And don't send in the laser there. That's a nasty laser. Okay, he did swap over to Ice Block, so that's good. Maybe, yeah, there was some other fight or something where that didn't happen. But yeah, that might have been the set where everybody who wasn't breaking far could have immuned on Skull and kind of made more space for everybody else. Now we move our safe spot back to Diamond, so you got to be aware for that. We do a little safe spot move there, and then we're spawning some walls once more. Towards the end of the fight, you have less and less space for the spreads on the breaks. As you can see, we've kind of now are filling up most of the lanes, and the enrage, it's a hard enrage at 520. If you don't kill the boss by then, it is going to kill you. There's basically no counterplay, but yeah, you can see this spread is a little bit more dangerous. You have to do some doubling up. You have to press some defensives. These are the spots where you look at your remaining defensives and you just press something every time there's a break from here on out. And these ones are, some of them are also going to have those mythic dots too. If you want to see, I think Roger Brown from Echo posted a spreadsheet of exactly what the breaks are if you want to see the theory, and if you want to see where you're going to have stacks of the mythic dot and plan out healer cooldowns accordingly. But I didn't do that because I didn't have to. That's something for other people to worry about, not me, but that is how the fight works. So it's really a question of making sure you have a healer cooldown allocated to each of those. Throwing some time spirals at good spots as well. The more evokers you have, the more time spirals you have for the movement if you have to get assigned far is actually really big. So yeah, I think just what you want to do with this is one person in your guild, or multiple if you have multiple people to do this kind of thing. Look at it, plan out where to put your movement and healer cooldowns, and where to have people use their defensives, and then everybody else in the raid doesn't have to think. They can just have the weak aura play the game for them, and that's it. That's Mythic Fractillus. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.